Bobby Dirkens here. Well, tonight, Lord, I'm freezing. I don't know what the love of my life has that AC set on in there, but I'll tell you how cold it is. I have Winter Olympic officials checking out one of my rooms in there to try to hold a vent in it, try to qualify. It's that cold in here. I might start me a page of go pay Bobby's electrical bill. I don't know what they think I'm made of, money. I ain't. Well, tonight I'm going to focus on the Texas Longhorns. I'm going to talk about them. I really don't have to say much about Texas. Let's be honest with ourselves. They have a winning history, almost 900 games since they started the whole darn thing. They've given us they've taken 5 national championships. Last one being in 2005 with Vince Young. He won the Heisman that same year when they beat the Pretty Boys of Southern Cal. Oh, you know, that dynasty that seemed like nothing would happen to it, and it came crumbling down. Even certain people can't even go back to the school for a certain amount of time. Yeah, that's a good one. But anyway, they've also given us hook'em horns, the world's largest Texas flag. And of course, Bevo, the Texas Longhorn. They've also given us Earl Campbell, Quentin Jammer. Here's one from the 90s, Eric Metcalf, Cedric Benson, and a host more of players that just aren't coming to my mind. So let's talk about what's going on now. Since 2005, really haven't done that great. They really haven't. They had a few more years of success, and then it started to really go downhill. Mediocrity was their best friend, and then mediocrity went to pot, and they started having losing seasons left and right. They're really the main state school. So much talent, but it always comes back to being able to develop players. Let's go to Boise State. Chris Peterson. He's recruiting guys that nobody cares about. But what's he do? He goes and he gets them, brings them in, develops them, and they're winning 10, 11, 12 games a year. And I know he's at Washington now, but that's what he did at Boise State. That shows you right here what Tom Herman had to take over and what he's having to fix. Now, in his inaugural season, and I like saying inaugural, gubernatorial is a fun word to say too. Has goober in it. You can say goober with notorial. I'm sorry, I'm 5 years old, but at the end of the day, he took over a team and they lost to Maryland their very first game. That's how much work they need to have. Me and my boys, Bobby Dirkens Jr. and Bobby Dirkens Jr., could beat Maryland in a scrimmage in our backyard. And that's just what it is. The last time I was confused with a loss like that, and then how the season's been going for the past 3 or 4 years with them, is when somebody said, drink something called kombucha. At first, they thought I was sneezing, and I went, well, thank you, but I didn't sneeze. I said, no, it's this drink. It's got a bunch of good stuff in it. You knock it back, I'm going to tell you, man, it's going to cure the elements. You're going to be better. I thought, I'll get me some of that. Knocked it back. Only way I can describe that nasty mess was like vinegar-infused horse piss. I can understand why there's no sicknesses inside of you. Cancer and crap like that's jumping out going, get that stuff away from us. It's awful. That's how confused I am at looking at these seasons and stuff that I'm looking at that they've had. It doesn't make sense. But let's talk about this season. Had an outrageous recruiting class. I mean, they brought in guys, name out a few guys. One of the top-ranked defensive backs, Anthony Cook. Brennan Eagles, big wide receiver. Got him. This kid, he can play. B.J. Foster. Caden Stearns. Go on down to... Who's that other young? They got a bunch of youngins who can just play football. Running back who's probably going to start the majority of the time, even if he doesn't start the game. A youngin named Keontae Ingram. Kid can play. They had a really good recruiting class. They do return 14 starters, 7-7 on both sides of the ball, so it doesn't seem like there's major holes. Now, what I will say is that they do have a quarterback situation on their hands. They have Sam Ehlinger. Sam Ehlinger did a good job last year. Only thing with him is that I think he, from what I can remember, he's more of a running kind of guy, kind of throwing a little bit. Bouchel, and I shouldn't even said that, but Bouchel, Shane Bouchel, he comes out there, he can play. I think he threw like 7 interceptions last year. Here's the problem with both of them. both of them. They had a lot of injuries. They had a lot of problems. And then you're trying to learn this whole new system. So, we have to take it easy on these boys. Let's be honest with ourselves. They're learning a new system. And so they're having their mind retrained. I mean, it's just like when my grandma, she'd go down there, and they would hook these batteries to her toes, give her some shocks, good as new. I'm just telling you right now, good as new. And she's in good shape. So they're having to learn the system. So right now, all my sources saying Ellinger's going to be the starter. That's what I'm hearing. Now, we know anything could start at the very end of the day, but Ellinger's supposed to be the starter. Keontae Ingram, we're looking, he's going to be playing. They did get a transfer in from California. He's a grad transfer. He'll be able to play right off the bat. Trey Watson, he'll be playing. On wide receiver, Colin Johnson, he is back. He will be playing. You heard me mention Brennan Eagles, big 6'3" target. He'll be playing as well. And the O-line's pretty experienced. I mean, it's not like you got a bunch of freshmen out there running around or a bunch of sophomores. These guys, juniors, seniors, and from what I'm looking at right here off the top of my notes, most of them are seniors. So you're going to have experience there. Let's talk about the defense. Defense, you lost Malik Jefferson, who is a freak. He's in the big league now. He had well over 100 tackles. You lost Deshaun Elliott, who had 6 interceptions. Anytime you have somebody picking off that many passes, it's a blessing when they're there, and it's a kick in the unmentionables when you lose them. Reggie Hemphill Maps, he's gone. He's got a hyphenated name. I've been thinking about getting a hyphenated name, going up there legally changing my name to Bobby the Stuff Dirkens. That'd be cool. Imagine that on the back of a jersey. That's who they lost. Returning on defense, they have Chris Boyd. Brecken Hager, I think that's how you say his name. Charles, I don't know how to say his last name, but he had 4 sacks last season. Devontae Davis and Gary Johnson. I think that's Brandon Jones. I wrote down, can't even read my own writing. These boys are coming back. They're going to play. Now, if you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, you know they're going to have to get something going. I do see some weapons here. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm seeing a bunch of seniors. I'm seeing a bunch of juniors. Mostly seniors. I think you stand a good chance. Now, the experts, for whatever that means, is picking you to finish actually second in right behind Oklahoma. That's not a bad thing considering how the past 4 or 5 years has went for you. But I do think you have a great chance of beating Oklahoma because you've got the man. Whoever's wearing the headset means a lot. Don't you ever forget that. Anybody ever tells you anything, it's probably Satan himself. You tell him to get behind you, because that's a lie. It matters who's wearing headsets. Well, that's why Clemson just paid Brent Venables. They're paying him $11 million, average over 5 years, because they want to keep him there. It's a big deal. Y'all's coordinators there, Tim Beck's offensive coordinator, Todd Orlando, and defensive coordinator. I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have stuff to work with. So let's talk about the schedule for Texas. I'm going to blow through this. If it's a doo-doo state game, I'm not going to sit there and commentate over it. At Maryland, well, we thought that wouldn't have been a problem last year. But I would tell you this. You're pissed off. They're embarrassed. It's second season, second summer. Overlook my youngin' now. Shut up! He's down there acting like Satan. His mama's side of the family. But playing at Maryland, College Park, y'all going to beat them this time. I think you got your crap together. You've had 2 summers with Tom Herman. Got this really good recruiting class of players that's going to be mixed in. Teach them how to play. You're going to win that game. Next game, Tulsa. I think you're going to win that game. Definitely going to win that game. Then you have Southern Cal coming to your place. Now, you owe Southern Cal because last year they beat you in double overtime. They beat you in double overtime. I don't have an ooh and ah factor with Southern Cal like everybody else does. They're seeing what I like to call a shell of tradition. Are they a bad football team? No. Did they have a good recruiting class? Yes. Could they beat anybody on any given day? Oh, Lord, yeah. Now, they're not bad. That's not what I'm saying. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. You're hearing stuff. What I'm just saying is they are not Southern Cal, like fired up Keith Jackson screaming in the background, Southern Cal. They're a good football team. I think you're going to get them back at your field. at your field, you're going to get them back. All right? I believe you're going to get them back. I believe you're going to beat them. Then you're going to play TCU. And I've got questions about that game. But you're going to be at home for a third week in a row. And barring injuries, I believe you beat TCU. But that's a toss-up game. Then you're at Kansas State. Bill Snyder. Love Bill Snyder. 173 years young. He actually coached Moses when he played football. And, yeah, really good record over there. But I believe you're going to beat Kansas State. Then you're going to play Oklahoma. And I just don't think you're going to like me for this one. I think you're going to lose to Oklahoma. I know that you've beaten them when you weren't supposed to beat them. I think it bought Charlie Strong one more year, a couple of years or something, because y'all beat them. But I just don't think that you're going to beat them right now, because I think there's a mini rivalry. It's kind of heated up between Riley and Herman, and I think Riley wants to use his players who were already developed. He took over them, and I just think they have more pieces of the puzzle. Could you beat them? Oh, God, yeah. I just think they're going to beat you. There's a loss there. Next week, you go down to the penitentiary. And for those of them that are letting out on good behavior, you're going to play the good Christian boys from Baylor. You're going to beat them. If it's been 5 years ago, I'd be telling you you're about to get stomped, but you're going to beat them. Then you're off on October the 20th. You go down and you play at Oklahoma State. Bye-bye, Mason Rudolph. You're not there anymore. And I think that you're going to definitely beat Oklahoma State there. I don't think that they have what it takes now to beat you. They still have talent, but I think you're going to beat them. Game, and everybody's going to tell me that I'm crazy. November the 3rd, West Virginia. If West Virginia comes in there healthy and Will Greer's playing healthy, y'all remember that I said if he's healthy and their team is healthy, West Virginia's going to beat you. It's going to be an upset of sorts. I think they're going to beat you. I could be wrong, but I believe West Virginia is going to beat you. You know why? Because you have such a good record up to this point. I think that you're going to be a little overconfident, and I think you're going to lose that ball game. Next, at Texas Tech. You're going to be pissed about the week before, and Texas Tech's going to play close with you there for a little bit. I think you're going to pull away. You're going to beat Texas Tech. Next, Iowa State. Iowa State's one of those games they play great 1 minute. Next minute, they play sucky. 1 minute, they beat the national champions. The next minute, they lose to the Blue Bonnet ladies, who is, they're just, they just come out of menopause. I mean, you never know. I think that you're going to beat Iowa State on this one, and then you finish at Kansas. Once again, me and my grandma in a wheelchair could beat Kansas. I believe you're going to beat them. So I'm looking at 2 losses for you this year. You do have that game with TCU. You could definitely lose that one. You could definitely lose the one with Southern Cal. That's a toss-up game. And I'd be weary definitely of Southern Cal. Well, everybody, listen, I'm going to let you go. Do want to remind everybody, first of all, you can hit that subscribe button. Well, Bobby, I ain't got one of them YouTube accounts. I really don't want to set it up. I don't want to put up videos up there. You don't have to put up videos. You create it, and you go subscribe to me, and you get this goodness right here every day of your life. You can turn it on, start a playlist, look at it. I'm going to tell you, there's people who's been close to jumping off a bridge. Got to end it all. Cop come up. The negotiator, they played some of my videos for them. They hop off that thing, straighten their act up, and conquer the world. And that's what you need to do. Also, I'm on Instagram, so you can catch me saying these great things every day. Tell your mama about it. I'm at the Bobby Dirkens on Instagram. Once again, at the Bobby Dirkens on Instagram. Want to say hello to Volunteer Roadshow. Go check out Volunteer Roadshow. My buddy down in a lower part of the state who's a big Clemson fan, Pigskin Pete. Want to say hey to him. And y'all all be good. Y'all keep it right. Remember what I say, and I like to end it like this all the time. Here it is. I'm right. I'm Bobby Dirkens. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong.